morning, welcome back. Kate here from Faith Hope and Laundry. It's Saturday morning here and I'm going to be doing a cake today. So it's September, beginning of September, and this month is a big birthday month for us. I think we probably all have a month like that, don't we, where there just seems to be a large number of birthdays that fall in that one particular month. So I'm going to be doing a red velvet cake today for my daughter and my sister. We're just having a family gathering this weekend, and I thought I would, just bring you along while I'm making that particular cake. So in this bowl here, I have got some flour and some corn flour that I'm just going to be putting through the sieve. You can actually buy something called cake flour, which is more of a specialist flour, and it is just a lighter mixture than a standard all-purpose flour mixture. So the corn flour in here actually just makes the flour and the cake a lot lighter than if you were making it with just normal flour. And I'm also going to be popping some cocoa powder in here as well to sift. This recipe, obviously, I will link down below so that you can make it at home as well. And the baking soda and the baking powder go in here also to be sifted. While this is in the oven, I'm also going to be doing a few little decluttering bits around the house. As we know, you've just got to keep on moving with those consistent habits so that we can start seeing some changes in our homes. Some salt as well. Just give that a good mix around with the whisk until it's well combined. And then I'm just going to grab another bowl for my wet ingredients here. So we've got 6 tablespoons of room temperature butter, vegetable oil, and the sugar. And I'm just going to cream all of this together for 2 to 3 minutes until it's light and creamy. It's beautiful and creamy now, so I'm just going to add in 3 eggs and just keep whisking them in with the hand beater. Into here goes vanilla and white vinegar. And then we're going to pop in the red food colouring, which is the classic colour of a red velvet cake, obviously. This is all going to get mixed together. Interestingly, historically, a red velvet cake didn't used to have artificial red colouring like we use now. The red colour actually came from the interaction between the buttermilk and the cocoa powder, and it used to give a slightly red colour, hence why it's called red velvet cake. So now comes the fun part. I'm going to add half of this wet mixture into my dry mixture and just start giving it a gentle fold together. You don't want to over mix this too much because it can start to develop the gluten, overdevelop the gluten that's in the flour. And then lastly, I'm adding some buttermilk or yogurt in here. If you don't have buttermilk, then yogurt is fine as well to use. and just gently mix to combine that as well. So into the oven this goes. I expect, because I'm doing the whole batter in one cake tin, that it's going to take probably 40, 50, maybe even close to an hour in the oven. But let's get it cooking and we'll see what it turns out like. This is going into a preheated oven of 160 degrees Celsius or 320 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, while my cake is in the oven cooking, I thought I would tackle some decluttering. Just to give you some encouragement, I was only in this space for probably about 10 minutes in total. So you really don't have to spend a whole lot of time decluttering all at once. And for sure, there's a few things I know when it comes to myself for decluttering, is that it's just those small consistent habits of doing 5-10 minutes each day, whatever you can manage, as long as it's consistent. And also that you're not tired when you're decluttering. I find that I just cannot make decisions about what to keep, what to throw away, what to donate if I'm feeling tired. And also, you may make a decluttering decision differently on one day to the next, and that's okay. Sometimes we just have to hang on to things for a little bit longer to then come to the right decluttering decision about it. And certainly that is what has happened with this space. This is in my bedroom, and these items, boxes, have been here for months really. But today I just felt like it was the right day to be tackling this, and I was in the right frame of mind, and I was able to make some really quick, easy and good decluttering decisions. And today was also the perfect day to be boxing up some of the items that I'm going to be taking to the secondhand store. They've been hanging around for a number of days, weeks, some of these boxes, and it's just time to get them into the car and up to the secondhand store. It's a Saturday here, so it's the perfect day just to go and take these up. My motto is usually to get all of these decluttered items out of the house as quickly as you can, but sometimes that's not always possible and the boxes linger at home. But it really did feel good to have these out of the house this weekend. I'm now moving on to making the icing for my cake. The cake is out of the oven and it's just cooling down. This icing is very, very simple. It's a cream cheese icing. So I've got some butter in my bowl and cream cheese, and then lots of icing sugar or powdered sugar, however you like to call it. You do need to make sure that your cake is completely cool before you ice with this cream cheese icing. Otherwise it will just all melt and run over the sides and you won't be able to work with it. My cake ended up taking over an hour to cook. It was about an hour and 5 minutes. And the recipe actually calls for using 2 separate cake tins, but I only had 1 cake tin, so I just used that. So I'm just getting all of this into the bowl together and then giving it a good beat with the hand mixer until it's all smooth. Now comes the fun part of putting it all together into a beautiful cake. So I'm just cutting off the top dome part of the cake, and as you can see, it's a beautiful, vibrant red colour, perfect colour for a red velvet cake. I'm cutting the cake into 2 halves as I want to put some icing in the middle of the cake as well. So on goes the first layer, and then I'm using half of the cream cheese icing to spread a good thickness of icing onto the first base of the cake here. Next goes on the top layer. You could do piping, you could just leave it as it is, you could obviously spread it around the side. Whatever your cake decorating skills are, then just decorate to your own level. I'm keeping the decorations very simple here. I have crumbled up the remainder of the dome of the cake that I sliced off, and just sprinkling that around the edge. And then I have some pretty flowers in my garden that I have picked, and I'm just going to pop those over the top for just a really simple but effective and beautiful red velvet cake for my daughter and my sister. So there we go, cake and clutter in today's video. What more could you ask for? I hope you have a really great week, everyone. I'd love you to subscribe if you're new here. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Bye.